This is Mike, Slater 42 Vinyl. I'm going to do a video about, well, this is I've been making videos for 2 years, and the videos that I've been making have been just basically, the majority of them have just been showing what I've been buying in my collection, like my monthly vinyl haul, basically. And I've been doing that for 2 years. I started 2016, but it was December that I bought my turntable and bought my first set of records. So what I thought I'd do is kind of show some albums of my favorite releases from 2017 and 2018, since I finished both of those years of all the albums that I've collected up to that point. So yeah, this is just kind of like my favorite stuff that was actually released in 2017. Some of these albums were pressed later. Some of them were pressed in 2022, 2021. Some of them actually did come out in 2017, but some of them weren't on vinyl until, after 2017. But they are 2017 releases as far as when the music was released, either, digitally or on CD or things like that. So I'm just kind of going off that, like year of release. And I'm just going to do 5, instead of like 10 or something like that. I just kind of do maybe just a quick 5 albums that maybe you guys would be interested. And this will be on metal. So these are my 5 favorite metal hard rock, like some people wouldn't consider these metal, but I do, or at least hard rock at least. First album I want to talk about is from one of my favorite bands, my favorite glam metal bands actually, and they're a newer band. This is a great album, and this album was released in 2017. And it's an album from Crazy Licks. This is Rough Justice. These guys are fantastic glam metal from, present day. These guys are from Sweden. So Sweden just really knows what they're doing when it comes to metal in general, really. They do a fantastic job. These guys look awesome too. They do a fantastic job of capturing 1988, 89, and 90, right in there, even 91, they sound really good, and their songwriting is right in that era. Really good stuff. I'll play a song like I normally do. And I don't know, I probably didn't purchase this one yet, so it might come up in a future vinyl haul video for the particular year that I picked it up, year or month that I picked it up. But yeah, this was number 5, my 5th favorite album that was released in 2017. Not necessarily the vinyl was released, but the album was released. And I got this on blue. And yeah, excellent glam metal. If you're into glam metal or, melodic metal, pop metal, whatever you want to call it, that band and this album, I think this album's still available too. You should be able to pretty much get that pretty easily. The next album that I want to show is from another one of my favorite bands. These are all obviously albums from my favorite bands, if they're in my top 5 favorite albums released of a particular year. These guys are kind of like, I consider them metal, but they're probably more like hard rock, but I actually file them away in my glam rock section because I really think they fit that stuff, like they're Japanese, but they're still really hard rock, and they do have a glam like a, not necessarily with makeup, you know, or teased hair, although they do have that because they're an all-female band. And these guys have a shtick that they do that is kind of cool and kind of fun, and it's Band-Maid. Yeah, this is the album, Just Bring It. This album did come out in 2017, but these reissues of these vinyl records, I believe they came out in 2021, right at the beginning of 2021, actually. And these are Japanese presses, so the vinyl is incredibly quiet. The vinyl sounds amazing. I think there's 5 albums that were released all on the same day, or at least the same week. Excellent, excellent pressings on these. The band is fun. They're really good. I'm going to put a picture up. The quality of the covers here, it's very thick. I guess you would call that the tip-on jackets. You know, the really thick cardboard. They, you know, pasted the inner lyrics here, you know, as a separate sheet onto the cover here. So yeah, kind of old school style, really thick cardboard for this album. And this band is excellent. Their musicianship is fantastic. Songwriting is great, really heavy stuff, kind of, you know, as far as the hard rock, it's definitely hard rock. And they do a great job, and they're so much fun live. They definitely struggle with their English, of course, because they're not English speakers, but they do their best, you know, reading their phones and interacting with the crowd. Even though there is a language barrier, they still are able to communicate with, you know, English-speaking audiences pretty well. All their songs are sung in Japanese, but they're still fantastic. Their videos are great. If you watch their live stuff, there's a bunch of live videos you can watch online, and they just kind of prove how really, really great they are. Fantastic musicianship, really, really fun stuff. All these reissues came out on black, but like I said, the vinyl is, you know, virgin. It's quiet as heck. You put the needle on it, you don't hear anything until the music starts, which is fantastic. Japanese presses are some of the only presses that I have that really do that, even on brand new records, you know, unfortunately. But really, really good stuff here. Band-Maid is a great band, really, really fun band, and really, really good music. This next album, this was the first album that I bought from this band. I saw the video. This album was new. It had just come out, and I saw the video, or like a lyric video or something, or an animated video for one of the songs, and I really dug it. I was like, this is pretty cool. And I had kind of heard about these guys, but I never really investigated them. But once I heard that song, I think it was the song Gemini on here, and that's Night Flight Orchestra. And once I heard that song, I was hooked. I was like, that is awesome. And I started doing research on the band and figured out that these guys, the majority of the members of this band are from Soilwork. They had just gotten a guitar player in Soilwork that replaced another guy. And, you know, him and the singer were like really into the 70s, you know, hard rock or AOR type, you know, music, you know, like Toto, you know, stuff like that, you know, just kind of like that hard rock. Q5 is a band that was like that, you know, just like that AOR stuff. But they really, really love that stuff. The Night Flight Orchestra is a perfect name for the band, for taking up that area. These guys emulate that to near perfection, honestly. You know, they have keyboards, so they, you know, they have that part of the sound as well. Just really great choruses, really great songs, really, really, really fun. Unfortunately, the guitar player that did join Soilwork and kind of did this project with the lead singer, he ended up passing away, and it's really unfortunate. These guys put out quite a few albums, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 or 6 records in a really short period of time. But this is an excellent album, one of my favorites from 2017. And this just came on black. And this was issued, this was the 2017 album that was out. The previous albums before this were only on CD, but they did eventually release them on colored vinyl, and I do have those. I have pretty much everything from these guys except for the latest album, the Aromatic 1 and 2. Those are the only two albums that I don't have, and they are definitely on my want list, and I will pick them up eventually, but they're just, my want list is fucking huge, unfortunately, so I really have to pick and choose what I buy. But excellent stuff, released in 2017. All right, this album was also released in 2017, and I talk about this artist all the time. It is my favorite artist right now. If you ask me who's my favorite artist musically, I will say Arjun Lucassen from Arion. And I got this pre-ordered signed, and this is his album, The Source. This album did come out in 2017, and this was the pre-order that I ordered from their website that came out on was the Mascot Label Group. And fantastic album, perfection, really, from Arion, Arjun. Arjun can't do any wrong for me, so I'm very biased. It's really hard for me to dislike or have a lot of criticism for a Arion album. This album is filled with fantastic musicians, lots of different singers. So you have lots of variety on here. The one really cool singer that he got was Tobias Sammet from Avantasia and Edguy. Does a fantastic job, and they kind of have these competing rock operas that, it's a jokingly thing. I don't think Arjun played guitar, I think, on one of Tobias's songs, and then now Tobias finally got to sing on an Arion record here on The Source. It comes with this giant booklet, which has really cool art, all that's digital art, but it's basically about this is kind of like the prequel of the whole Arion story, where this is the original planet where the aliens are from, who actually end up populating Earth. They created the human race. And then what they do is once they create the human race, it's super complicated. Once they create the human race on the very first album that was released by Arjun, they communicate with this deaf and blind guy, and he sings and writes this whole thing to try to warn they send these messages to the past to try to warn the future of, how they're going to destroy themselves and how to avoid it. But do we listen? I don't know. But this is basically Planet Y, all the people who escape Planet Y when the AI that runs Planet Y kind of destroys the planet. And if you look at the pictures and stuff, there is no, there is nothing left on the planet that isn't, covered by technology. So it's just full on technology everywhere, there's no, greenery left, no trees, no grass, nothing like that, not even like water or anything. So they kind of lose all their resources, and the AI decides that they're the problem, kills everybody, but several of them escape, and they discover this other planet where I believe it's all water, and they're able to create this. They're able to basically change themselves and live off this water, and then they can, kind of become immortal, but they have to live off this water and be underwater creatures or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyway, it's incredibly complicated, incredibly strange. All comes from Arjun's head. He's super duper into sci-fi, so, you know, he just comes up with this crazy concept. But the album is all progressive metal, great stuff, fantastic singing. Russ Allen is on here. James Labrie sings on here. Hansi Kirsch from Blind Guardian is on here. Tommy Karavik from Camelot. Tobias, of course. Russell Allen from Symphony X sings on here. Really, really, really great stuff. A lot, and a few other singers on here from bands that I'm not as familiar with. And excellent, excellent stuff. And this is basically them figuring out that they need to live in water and how to survive. And yeah, great stuff. Really, really great album. It's a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 100%. All right, and my favorite album of 2017 that I have in my collection is from a band that I love, a band that recently broke up, which fucking sucks. It really, really sucks. I hate when my favorite bands break up. I'm wondering if they're going to come out with anything separate that's going to sound like this. But this is their fifth album, and it's Horisont. This is About Time. This is their second to last album. They have one more album after this called Sudden Death, which is fantastic again, of course. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. But I love Horisont. I love this band. These guys are kind of a 70s throwback band. They're not like 70s Sabbath, though. They're 70s like hard rock. Just really, really great sound. Really dry, you know, guitar tones, you know, not a ton of distortion. So you can hear all the picking on the guitars and all the riffs as they're creating them. It's still metal. It's still really good. It just has that proto-metal sound, you know? Fantastic stuff. They do a cover on here of the Hive, which is a fantastic, I think it's Richard Harris did that song, written by Jimmy Webb, but it was sung by Richard Harris. Fantastic cover tune. And these guys pull off what bands, which I think bands shouldn't do, but because the song is kind of like this weird unknown song and Horisont really makes it their own, it's the opening track, The Hive. It's the first song on side one, which is, you know, for putting a cover song as your first song on side one, that's bold in my opinion. And usually that fails, especially if it's a really well-known song. Even if you put it like, you know, the covers need to be last songs on side one or side two, in my opinion. I don't think that they, unless it's a very unknown song and you really make it your own like these guys do, they pull it off, but this is rare. And it just goes to show how great they are, honestly, how good of musicians they are, that they really pull off that song and they make it their own and it sounds fantastic. And The Hive is a really fucked up, weird song with crazy lyrics. But Horisont, one of my favorite bands of all time. Love this band, love this album.
See her walking whitely, so she really was a virgin.
you can't go wrong with any of these 5 records if you're interested. And thanks everybody for watching. My channel is growing incrementally. It's kind of fun, you know, seeing a little bit more people watching, hopefully enjoying the videos. I'm going to do another top 5 of 2018 a little bit later, but I'm also going to do 2017 non-metal releases, you know, like my indie rock albums that I really like, you know, or pop albums even, because I do listen to a lot of different types of music. So, all right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like any of these albums or bands, let me know. That'd be awesome to share the love with these groups. That's fun. That's part of why I'm doing it. Cool. Thanks. Bye.